This is a production of WKNO Memphis. Production funding for Behind the Headlines is made possible in part by the WKNO Production Fund, the WKNO Endowment Fund, and by viewers like you. Thank you.
Tonight on Behind the Headlines, a look at higher education in Memphis. Joining us now on Behind the Headlines is John Smarrelli, the president of Christian Brothers University.
Bill, it's great to be here. Great to be with you.
Good to have you here. Let me start as I did with Johnny and Bill, and tell me about the milestones that you've seen at Christian Brothers University as we mark the end of the current semester.
Let me highlight just three very significant ones. On Saturday, we graduated our first physician assistant studies class, the first in the Memphis area. This is a master's level program. The PAs will now be able to go out and act as primary care physicians, clearly meeting a need in this particular community. The second piece is our association now with the former Fairview School in terms of the STEAM Academy, and we can talk a little bit about more. We're very proud of that association, proud of our reaching out into the community. And the third, we were able to announce this particular year the largest gift in the history of Christian Brothers University from a former faculty member, Rose G. Deal, and we're able to rename the School of Arts the Rose G. Deal School of Arts. So it's been an exciting time for us, particularly over the past 6 months in terms of these tremendous milestones for our university.
Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of retention of students and the student debt load that you've seen, obviously you've dealt with those issues just like other higher education leaders have dealt with it. Where are we? Because it seems as if there is a recognition that the student loan debt is a major factor in terms of students completing their college degrees, which is what it's all about these days.
At CBU, from the beginning, from our founding in 1871, we've always been a university that's reached out to students, meeting students where they are. And clearly the financial situation that they're facing these days has been one that's concerned us. We're at a point now where 98% of our students receive some sort of financial aid. So we're trying to chip away, and this is not loans, this is actually financial aid from the university. So we're concerned about the debt load, but when a CBU student graduates, their debt load is somewhere in the range, in the $20,000 range. So these stories out in the national press about $100,000, $150,000 debt are not there. But the second aspect of that is finding gainful employment for these individuals after they graduate. So if they're accrued a $20,000 loan, can they pay it back quickly? And we're very proud of our status in the state of Tennessee. Last year we were rated #1 in terms of return on investment for students graduating from CBU. So we see this as an investment in their future, a $20,000 investment in their future. So ultimately they'll be able to pay that back in a reasonable amount of time because of the outcomes of a CBU education. Okay. Clearly retention is an issue that faces all of us. Why do students leave universities? Some of it is because of financial, but others is just engagement with the university. So we've tried more so than ever to develop programming with the university so our students feel engaged, not only with the university itself, but with the city of Memphis. So our focus has been recently with the city of Memphis, because if they feel part of the Memphis community, they're more likely to stay in college.
Mm-hmm. And another part of that too is Fairview Middle School, which is just on the other side of Central from your campus. And you talked about STEAM, that is science, technology, engineering, arts,
correct,
and math. So it's an expansion of the traditional STEM model that we've seen so much of in the last decade. So Christian Brothers University will be a partner in the transition of Fairview Middle School to the STEAM model next school year, this coming August.
Correct. We're excited about that partnership. One of the things, I've been president now about 5 years, one of the pieces that I felt very strongly about a university in Memphis is we need to reach out to our community and make significant differences. Well, we've got a school right across the street from us. We've got tremendous faculty in our education school and in our art school, and we were founded on a school of engineering. So take those pieces together, it's a match made in heaven in terms of creating a very, very special opportunity for the teachers at the STEAM school to be mentored, moderated by our wonderful faculty at CBU. What our goal ultimately is to start early so that there's no fear of science. There's no fear that these students can succeed in science, because there's so many jobs out there, particularly in the science, technology, engineering, and math areas. And then throw the arts in there because we're very, very strong in that particular area. And we've got a full curriculum where CBU is an active participant in developing that curriculum and training teachers and creating students who are going to be ready to face the new challenges out there, particularly in science and technology.
Let's also talk here just a bit about the school's reputation as an engineering school.
Great.
You've worked in the last 5 years, as you said, in a number of areas. One of those is to broaden that reach to a great degree.
Correct. And I feel very strongly that a school, particularly a college in this day and age, cannot just rely upon what happens in its campus. And we have a wonderful 75-acre fenced-in campus in Midtown Memphis. But if that's the only thing we do, then our students do not have the opportunity to really become citizens of the world. So we push that for all of our disciplines. The aspect of service being a very, very crucial piece, where our students are out in the community on a very regular basis doing service, but not only just doing the service, but coming back to the campus and reflecting upon that service. True service learning. So when they leave CBU, they not only have an academic degree, but a better understanding of the needs of the community in which they live. And one thing, Bill, we're very, very proud of is that nearly 80% of our graduates stay in Memphis. So if we can do it right in those 4 years that they're at CBU, we can create citizens who are going to be leaders in the Memphis community to replace the Fred Smiths and the Pitt Hydes and some of the wonderful leaders that we've had in this community.
So what is your mix in terms of students who are from here and students who come here?
We recruit about 75% of students from the general Memphis area. And so we're very, very Memphis-centric in terms of our recruiting strategy. So what we want to do is give them such a positive experience at CBU that we don't want the brain drain to occur where we train them at CBU and then they leave. And so we encourage that through internships, to, again, the service opportunities that they have. We want each of our students to have some sort of internship so that they're out, whether it's paid or unpaid, so that they're understanding the economy of this region, so that they can be active participants. And for our companies that we send our students to, it's sort of a long job interview. So it's our hope that these students go, whether it's paid or unpaid, and actually become then hired by the companies in our area. And that's really our ultimate goal.
Right. So give me an idea of a 22, 23-year-old graduate who is from here and who might have a desire to see the world outside of Memphis at this point. How does the discussion go about, if you need to see the world, but there's plenty to do here? How does that discussion go? The
discussion is usually pretty easy because we are we're very fortunate at CBU to be part of a LaSalle network. We're in 80 countries across the world. So what my argument would be is see the world when you're in college. Take a study abroad, or take a 2 or 3 week experience in the summer or during the January term, where you can see the world and do the kinds of things that you think you want to do in your life, and then come back. And what you'll find is that Memphis is a lot better place when you've seen what's out there in the rest of the world. And I think for me that's really the argument here. I think those who are from Memphis at times don't believe that Memphis is a very wonderful place to live and work and enjoy. I mean, that's the other piece, to enjoy. And so what we try to do is if they really want to see the world, let's send them out, but let's hope they'll come back and say, well, Memphis is a lot better place because we've seen Rome, we've seen Barcelona, we've seen South America, and we think that Memphis is as much to offer as any of those countries in which they've traveled.
Right, and so much of the experience that you've talked about and our other two guests, Bill and Johnny, have talked about is essentially discovering things about Memphis that the students really might not have known was in their own hometown as well.
Exactly, and I think as a non-Memphian, I've experienced that myself. I mean, you know, being here again 5 years, my wife and I and my family, we've certainly tried to take advantage of what Memphis has to offer in terms of culture, in terms of music, just in terms of the joys of being in a city like Memphis.
All right. John Smarrelli, the president of Christian Brothers University, thank you very much for joining us today on the program.
Bill, it's great. My pleasure to be here. I appreciate all you do.
All right. Also, our thanks to Johnny Watson at Lemoyne-Owen College and Bill Trout from Rhodes College. Thank you and good evening.